There was a time when Sony and Microsoft were sworn rivals, and the console war only escalated during the 7th generation of consoles, the PlayStation 3 versus the Xbox 360. What one company would do, the other would replicate it, and so forth and so on. But now the lines between console exclusivity are blurred as the years go by. This doesn't mean exclusives don't matter. Outside of brand loyalty and maybe the power and specs of the tech, people need some sort of reason to flock to a certain console. But it also isn't bad that more people get to play certain games. Crossplay was a major first step in uniting players. Then it was surprising when Sony started to put some of their games on PC. Even shocking when the MLB forced Sony's hand into making MLB The Show multi-platform. Then LEGO Horizon Adventures not only hit the PlayStation 5, but also the Nintendo Switch. Meanwhile, Microsoft has been struggling since the Xbox One, and even years later, instead of turning things around, it somehow got worse. They have always been more PC friendly, but now they have a new strategy. One seemingly inspired by Sega. Despite not leaving the console market, Xbox has been releasing their games on PlayStation and Nintendo. Now here we are because on August 26, 2025, the biggest event in the history of PlayStation and Xbox is happening. Gears of War is coming to PlayStation, while Helldivers 2 is hitting Xbox. And for the first time ever, Halo is making an appearance on PlayStation. But before we dive in further, if you enjoy content like this, and content not like this, consider liking and subscribing. So starting off, let's talk about Gears of War. Back in 2006, Epic Games, the now creators of Fortnite, would give the Xbox 360 one of its biggest games. And this was a year before Halo 3 came out. So now Microsoft had yet another reason for people to flock to the 360. And Gears of War was one of the games that helped to popularize cover-based shooters. To say it didn't make an impact would be a lie, as there were many knockoffs that tried to do the same and didn't do it well. This was the start of a whole new series. If Halo is considered the ultimate Xbox franchise and the golden child of the brand, then Gears of War comes in second. While it hasn't been long since Xbox has been putting their games on PlayStation, seeing something like Forza Horizon 5 was a big deal on the PlayStation 5. If anything can top that, it's Gears of War Reloaded. Yet another remaster of the original game, one that's even better than the Ultimate Edition released in 2015. And this shows that Xbox is serious about going multi-platform. And with the game having crossplay, it'll be interesting seeing how newcomers clash with longtime players. It should also be said that Reloaded has a physical copy on PlayStation 5, but not on Xbox. And it somewhat shows Microsoft's strategy for each console. Xbox is trying to push an all-digital future with their consoles and Game Pass, but for PlayStation, it's a mix of digital and physical. Now, physical may not be as strong in 2025 as it used to be, but it's clearly still working for PlayStation and Nintendo. Hopefully this means we'll see the rest of the Gears franchise hitting PlayStation. It wouldn't be fair to tease us with the first and then leave us hanging. But with Gears of War E-Day coming in 2026, likely also for the PS5, it's likely Microsoft wants to introduce a whole new generation of players to the series. Gears of War Reloaded is one thing, but Helldivers 2 hitting the Xbox is next level, especially when this wasn't the choice of its developer, but rather Sony themselves. And I think we can all thank Concord for this one. That massive failure really shook up Sony's live service plans, as majority of their planned live service games were cancelled, and with whatever left in development, it sounds like they're trying to avoid another disaster. And it makes sense for Sony to release their live service games on as many platforms as they can. The live service market is horrendous. There are too many games, it's easy to fall out of popularity, more of these games end up cancelled or failing than succeeding, and then it's just a waste of developer talent when that talent is better used elsewhere. If anything, Helldivers 2 is Sony's experiment to see if it's worth making certain games multi-platform. Take this popular game that surprised everyone in how successful it's been, and help it find even more success. Helldivers 2 is a game that's brought players together. I'm not saying there hasn't been controversy since release, but rarely do we find games that have such a positive community. People are welcoming, they're sharing their art and videos on social media, it's a real passionate fan base. While I'm sure there are people who absolutely hate the idea of a PlayStation game hitting Xbox, this doesn't mean PlayStation has gone fully multi-platform. So keep your expectations low on things like Uncharted and Spider-Man. However, it's been an interesting generation full of surprises, even if some of it has been lackluster, and anything seems possible. And now we also have the first major appearance of Halo on PlayStation. And sure, you could get Master Chief in Fortnite, but Fortnite is just a giant cluster of collaborations, and years ago, something like this would have never happened. First, there was Killzone in Helldivers 2, something us PlayStation fans were excited to see after all this time. And Halo has been something players have wanted to see for the longest time now, and the ODST are the perfect fit. So as soon as it was teased in the trailer for Xbox, everyone lost their minds. Just seeing PlayStation advertising Halo and Gears of War, Xbox advertising Helldivers 2, and then this Xbox tweet of Xbox and PlayStation coming together to fight in Helldivers 2, people 10, 15 years ago would be having heart attacks with what's happening. These once major rivals advertising each other's games is just something you would have never ever expected to see. Adding to what I said earlier, being a Helldiver is about uniting together against a common enemy and enjoying every moment of it. The console wars may be a thing of the past, but that doesn't mean we can't become allies and work together. While this is only the start of PlayStation and Xbox crossing over, it's doubtful we will ever see another day like August 26, 2025 again. But let us know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified about future content. While you're here, check out this previous video on games EA revived, just to kill off again. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.